So I'm in this incredibly intimate space in the kind of University Heights, North Park area of San Diego. It's the Diversionary Theater, and it is a space that is seeing for the very first time an incredible show last night and tonight, and before it takes off back to our neck of the woods, to LA, and then goes around the country on an incredible tour. This man, handsome gentleman to my right with his fantastic sunglasses, look at those eyes, is Tim Drucker, who is, well, you tell me all the jack of all trades that you are.
I'm the director of the the Unauthorized Parody Musical tour, and I'm producing it with Obsessed, who is known for all of their major drag tours, Trixie and Katya Live, Sibling Rivalry with Bob and Monet, and the Boulet Brothers Dragula. They're like and this is a new venture, this musical parody drag hybrid that we're bringing across the country.
Which is great, and if you followed along with me at Midsummer Scream in Long Beach, you got to meet the Boulet brothers. So it was really, really fun. Great. Yes, so it was really great. So it's something that is not bizarre. Well, it is bizarre, but it's not unique necessarily. Okay, maybe it is unique. But anyway, talk to me about you. Talk to me, first of all, I want to tell you about the, there's a reason where we're sitting right now. And so as you're tuning in and checking this out, there's a reason that we'll get to, but I want you to get to know Tim first a little bit. So talk to me about you. My favorite question always is, what was your nickname as a kid?
Kissing Timmy. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm saying that. I feel like because we were just, you just watched a show about childhood trauma, that like, I can't even believe that came out. I don't know how I think a child go through sexual awakening in this parody, and I like kissed a couple girls in first grade and then got the nickname Kissing Timmy.
So Kissing Timmy is fantastic. And what's funny is,
I believe I just admitted that.
As you've already, no, because this is why we don't do anything ahead of time. It's everything is real and raw here in the moment. So thank you, Kissing Timmy. Yes, you can hide behind your Megan glasses all you want. But talk to me about what Timmy was like as a young man. Fill me in on you and your background and your past.
Super theatrical. I was a child, like a child actor. I went to theater camp. I went to NYU for theater. Like, it was always my passion. I thought I was going to be like Al Pacino or,
I love that. Al Pacino of all things.
Well, when I was at NYU, I was like, in the musical theater program, I was considered like a good actor. So like they like built you up. So you're like, I'm going to go see.
I love this because if you notice, he said in the musical theater program. Yeah. So an incredible actor, Al Pacino in the musical theater program.
No, it's absurd.
And no, I think it's great. I would love to see Al Pacino in a musical.
And then I found my way into like sketch comedy after college, and I started writing musicals. And so this show is very much the DNA of everything I've been doing for the last 20 years. I'm like an Upright Citizens Brigade person, and so I found my way into sketch comedy and writing, and then I really found that like directing was what I felt most passionate about and where I felt most in like my power and my joy. And so, and because of my writing background, I've always only done new comedic work, and developed it. So I have like that particular set of skills, and the fun of comedy is, and then I found my way into this like parody space where I kind of do like.
So talk to me a little bit about that, because let's just flash forward, because you do this. This is not,
I do a lot of
this show, which we'll get to in a little bit, is new.
Brand new,
But let's talk about because you have we don't have a whole bunch of time, but I want to get to know you and talk to me about how you got into the parody space, kind of coming out of that whole...
Yeah, well, so like the first show I ever wrote when I was 24, and a satire was, it was called Perez Hilton Saves the Universe, or the Greater Los Angeles Area. We wrote it at the height of Perez Hilton's fame, and he was so kind to us because it was just a wacky show, but it became a huge hit. We got so much, it just took off like wildfire. And then from there I did like a Spider-Man musical parody, and then I got hired to do this big Friends tour that played across the country that was an enormous hit. And then I did this Love Actually parody that was really successful that we adore, and Bachelor the musical. And I thought I was done with parody, and then the writer of this show has a huge Instagram account for Real Housewives of New York, the musical parody, and he wrote the opening to BravoCon, and I was like, I loved it so much, I wanted to do something with it. He was sending me all these ideas, and he invited me at the last minute to this MEG4N musical he wrote in like a couple days.
That's wild, okay.
Wild. And I was like, I'd just seen the movie, like, it was only like out for a few weeks. He's just so smart, Dylan MarcAurele, he writes all types of stuff. And I took a friend, at the time it was only like maybe 40 minutes in a little basement, and we died. I could not believe the quality of the writing. And so Jim and I got, just picked it up as producers, and we expanded it to 65 minutes, and it got funnier and funnier, and like just the feedback in New York was so positive, and then Obsessed partnered with us, and it was just kind of like, it just became a life of its own, and putting Rosé from drag race into the Megan part, it was all like meant to be, it was just like a perfect journey. It keeps rolling along,
Do you find, before we go deep into Megan here, do you find between reality television and sitcoms and even dramas, is it really easy, doesn't matter the genre, to be able to jump into that parody space? Because it's, sometimes you're looking at something that's going to be a little bit more straight humor, and sometimes you're going to look, well, obviously this is queer humor, but sometimes you're going to have more straight play versus musical. What is that like trying to pull that out? Because you've got characters. And if we look at reality television, you're looking at characters that are characters. So what is that like?
I think with those properties and like what I've discovered, and for me at least, I personally have to be passionate about the IP to want to do it, because I think it actually has to come from a place of love, right? Okay. Because the snarkiness and making fun of something, that's not like a sustainable storytelling thing. Of course. So this is obviously like, everyone loves Megan. This is a queer story. So for that, I think that's kind of the base for where it has to come from. So I think it has to be something where there's a large audience that's very ravenous and passionate about it. The Friends audience is like truly.
If you go to the Warner Brothers studio tour in LA, it's insane.
We would play like Broadway-sized houses, and they would scream like we were at the Book of Mormon. And like I grew up watching Friends when it would air live on like Must See Thursdays or whatever you call it. And so I was like, I would love to live in that world. How much fun to play with Ross and Rachel and Monica and all that. Right. And I had no idea that like the moment we say pivot, like 1,600 people would fall apart. And I was like, and I thought I was a fan. I wasn't a fan. And like Bachelor was interesting because I wasn't necessarily a fan of Bachelor, but that particular story was very accessible and was very funny, and I got it. And so that was like that was just like a fun world to play in, So it kind of just depends on like, you have to like, I'm sure Traders, when we get there, will be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
I have like a new idea for something that I think will be like really fun. I'm not ready to share it yet, but I feel like it's something that is very gay and passionate, and I think people will like really lose their minds for it, and I've started sharing the concept with people.
And with that specifically, like you said with the gay, the queer space is such a unique place. Outside of everything that you've done to this point, and a lot of those things were existing properties, you've taken a spin, a little twist here with the Megan storyline. And something that was really exciting that was actually just announced today with Universal Studios and Halloween Horror Nights. Megan is going to be featured in the Terror Tram in Hollywood, and she will be a part of a scare zone in Orlando. So that's very exciting. So it's funny, you'll be able to see Megan at those properties, but it's kind of fun as you are going out on tour with this. And I can't wait to talk about the sequel, maybe.
I'm gagging.
Wink, wink. But anyway, talk to me about how this came to be, because obviously it's a very the horror space, unusually, or not as unusually, is very queer.
Yeah.
Be both our culture and unique, special, different. So what is it like to take something like this and treat it, I would say, really well? Like you treated it, you didn't talk smack, you didn't talk ish. Like you really were there. No, and it was obvious.
It's easy because everyone loves it, right?
And
it's kind of a fun.
But it's also campy.
Oh, it's so campy.
Just period. Yeah. Even if they take like almost to the point that in the film they take themselves very seriously, yet everything that lives on in memes and GIFs or GIFs, is all of this.
Yeah.
So what is it like trying to translate that into a 65-minute piece that like literally it is rapid fire and just goes. You have 4 incredible performers.
They're so good.
Sharing the stage, playing multiple roles, to the point that Megan makes an appearance as a therapist, which I think is even funnier. Like that was a really smart, very thing. Sorry, spoiler alert. But you've got to come see this. If it's coming to your town, you can get the details. We'll give you all the information of how to figure that out, or find that out. But anyway, sorry. I'm just like so enthralled with it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's kind of a simple answer, but the writing is so strong that we don't have to do too much work. Like, I was just so taken with the quality of the lyrics, the songwriting. For me, the kind of place I come to with these kind of things is like, I obviously come from the theater world. I work in like New York theater. I have that community, but I also have a large group of gay friends who like don't know theater. And so some of them like kind of came to Megan, like having not gone to that much theater, which like is crazy that they're close friends of mine. And they were like, oh, if like musicals were this funny, we would come more. And like that to me was like such a a boost of confidence in this property, because I'm like, the people who do not like theater love this show. And so it all comes down to just the quality of the writing. And then also, you know, Brooke Engen, who is the choreographer of this, is just like, you know, she's done like a gazillion Broadway shows, and she's just so good at movement and finding that. So that kind of collaboration, and then our weird little concept with the chairs.
This is great. Like, you're literally in our preschool setting with toys from the basement, which hold really unique story points. You know, you've got all sorts of characters that are here. And even to the point, I mean, you've got everything represented that you could possibly need, including murder weapons that, you know, go back to our childhood.
For 18 things, it is.
It is incredible.
I call it low-budget spectacle.
And especially the reveal, and I don't mean to say, you know,
isn't it great?
Yeah, I was going to say, the reveal of it is quite impressive.
Yeah,
so,
it's great.
Talk to me a little bit about the tour. So obviously you're wrapping up in San Diego and you're headed to LA next.
Yeah.
What does the next, I don't know, handful of, you know,
well, so we have our big LA shows, and then we have 2 weeks in Provincetown, which is like very unusual to do that long of a run there, especially with a 4-person musical. But live at the Art House, it's a really cool space. They just took it over. Ginger Minge is programming it this year.
Oh, that's fun.
BEG. Yeah, so it's like her space. It's a very drag-forward space. Rosé already did her one-woman show, Rosé and the Big Pink Blunt there, Pink Blunt there this summer. Miss Cracker's been there, so that's going to be super fun. I'm a little jealous of the actors for their 2 weeks in like a nice little house in Provincetown. And then, you know, we're very aware that the sequel's coming out.
Very soon, yes.
We have big plans for, like, you know, continuing to, you know, travel with Megan across the world. And she, like, when we picked up this property and we're working on it, she continues, like you said, she just keeps popping up. Just when we think she's gone away, she just rises again.
It really
is like a queer icon.
She is very much, and it's so interesting. And this is something there's not a lot of time that I have to sit down with queer people. But with that specifically, why do you think we have so many of these unique, I mean, she hypothetically is a robot. Like, so, you know, but we've got Chers, and we've got Elvira's, and we've got Megan's, and we've got the most random people and straight people, you know, heterosexual people are always like, well, why is that an icon?
Yeah.
So why is Megan an icon for you? Why do you think that is such a...
I mean, you know, we have the little joke where Professor Annalise Keating in the opening number says that teaching Gay History 101 that Megan is metaphorically mother. And I think the thing about Megan being mother is, you know, there is a very like forward, like strong presence of this doll being the C word. I can't say that on a her radio.
No, but you know, creativity,
uniqueness, nerve and talent, girl.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And because of that, I mean, for me, I have my own opinions about why it is.
Of course.
Which I think is that like she kind of looks like an Olsen twin.
Mary-Kate and Ashley, we love you.
Yeah, but there's an
that
Olsen twin
vibe, 100%.
Yeah, and so it's like, is that a robot from I don't know, there's like a weird like Pinterest board of nonsense that she like. And also, like, the movie is so campy. When she starts singing Titanium in the movie, it is the most unhinged thing I've ever seen in a horror movie. And it is just like John Waters queer.
Very much. I think that's a good point.
And I think there's a lot of confusion when they did when the Met Gala and the Met exhibit did camp, and a lot of people on that runway were not executing camp.
Nope, not
and there's
in any way, shape, or form.
Confusion about what camp is, and Megan actually is camp. Mm-hmm. And I think the fact that there was and I think to have something that like we all can rally behind and say Megan is camp unequivocally, when there's a lot of confusion about what camp is.
Sure.
There's drag, there's camp, there's sarcasm, there's like quips, but like Megan is campy. Megan is a campy robot doll, because the horror movie, my husband hates horror, and I took him to this movie. He was like, I don't want to go, I'm scared. And he was like, oh, it's just a comedy, because it's just nonsense. And Allison Williams was in on the joke. She produced the whole thing. Like, she got it. And I think that also is campy, that Allison Williams was like, I'm going to serve this robot doll movie, and it's going to like be like a fucking, it's going to be like a hit. And she was right. The cast is thriving out there.
The cast is having the best time ever.
The reason the show is fun, though, is like you can tell they like each other and are just having fun and feel safe. And that's when comedy thrives. And they're just like they just have the best time.
They have we got a couple of minutes with them after this performance before they go into the next show. And the energy among the four of them and the camaraderie. And I think because it's such an intimate space and an intimate cast with multiple roles and taking on that thing, I'm excited. I really look forward to people enjoying this.
Thank you.
Final question for you.
Yeah.
For those who want to get into this space, so for somebody who wants to be a writer or a director or producer, give me a couple of anecdotal pearls of wisdom of something you wish you knew before you walked down this path.
Yeah. You make the things you want to see in the world with the people you love, and you put it out there. It doesn't matter what space you're in. It doesn't matter what city you're in. Make something with love. Invite people. You learn, you listen from the audience, and you grow. And that's all you need to do if you care about it.
See, that's perfect. Oh. Fantastic. Where can we learn about Megan, the unauthorized parody musical?
We are Megan Musical with MEG4N Musical.
Because it's very important to have a number in the name.
Well,
very important.
We just have to protect ourselves from lawsuits.
Absolutely, of course.
God bless parody law in the United States. Megan Musical, Instagram. We have all of our info up there, the website, the touring website, or you can go to obsessed.com. Our producers from the drag world, all of that's up there. Or, just check out Rosé's Instagram. Obviously, she's promoting it.
Yeah, I was going to say, so if you're not familiar,
Easy breezy, just find Rosé. She has 2,000 followers.
On top of all that, Nick Poliokini on Instagram or This Weekend with Nick. All the details can be found there. Also, check out thisweekendwithnick.com for more details about things like this incredible performance or things you can do elsewhere around the Southland and beyond. This has been absolutely incredible.
Oh, you're the best.
So good to meet
Thank
you.
you.
And on behalf of both of us, we look forward to seeing you out and about this weekend.
Thank you, guys.